Old man Ismael Barroso showed the world that you don't mess with old men. He knocked out Ohara Davies in round one. Now keep in mind, Barroso is 40 years old. Almost said 41. I don't want to add too many years onto his life. I might kill him doing that. He's an old man in the terms of boxing. He lost to Rolando Romero, but that shouldn't have happened. And we're going to be talking about that fight in a moment here with Tony Weeks. But yes, Ismael Barroso is the number one old man in boxing, and I love it. Oh man, so yeah, he took on Ohara Davies, and before the fight, Oscar De La Hoya went out and started tweeting about, the winner of this will face, Rolando Romero for the title, and Barroso is the guy who should have been fighting, or should have had the title if not for the stupid stoppage from Tony Weeks, but we can't change that. So he took an interim title fight, which is what this was. Now, don't count your chickens before they hatch, Oscar De La Hoya, because they might not hatch. And this one didn't. Ohara Davies is, he's a good fighter, but I don't want to say he's fraudulent, but like they made him up to be this type of fighter that's like a world beater, and he's not a world beater. He's just a good fighter, It would have been cool to see him fight Rolando Romero, but, Barroso got the job done. It was just crazy. So it was a beautiful left hook. I don't know, like we're talking about two fights today, guys, 2 first-round knockouts. I don't know how long we're going to be able to go today because, I'm not going to stretch this out longer than it needs to be because it's 2 first-round knockouts. One of them was fantastic. One of them was sus. So, anyway, so it was a nice left hook that Ismael Barroso landed on Ohara Davies, and he just kind of caught him in transition in the pocket, and he was banging when he shouldn't have banged, and old man strength is real, as we see, and he dropped him, and I was like, oh my goodness, he just dropped him, because I'm sitting there by my wife. It's early in the night. My wife's not quite in bed yet, and I'm like, oh wow, and she's like, what? I'm just like, hey, that guy's supposed to lose. He was a decent sized underdog, but he didn't. So Davies beats the count. He gets up, and Ismael Barroso's just pounces on this guy, and it's there that he drops him again. The ref kind of stands him up, and he's like, hey, are you okay? Do you still want to fight? Yes, I still want to fight, which that's what he's going to say. He's a boxer. That's what boxers say. Hey, yes, I want to fight. The ref's job is there to save the fighter. And I don't remember who was reffing this, but they saved the fighter. Ohara Davies, it was out. This wasn't even a close fight. Well, first round knockout. Like, wow. Like, I don't know. When's the last time Barroso, I'm looking it up right now, actually. Let me look it up. Ismael Barroso's the last time he got a first round knockout, because it was fantastic. It really was. Let's see. He's an old guy, and he kind of got shafted in that first one with Tony Weeks, in that first fight with Rolando Romero. He's 25-4 with 23 knockouts. The dude has power. They technically called it a TKO in round 9. He was winning that fight, but let's see. He's had Nestor Hugo Penaguea in 2021. So yeah, now this is nothing new for him. Second round knockout in 2019. He took on Anthony Crolla, lost. He's lost some fights he shouldn't have. Another first round knockout in 2012. So he gets knockouts. Another one. Never mind. This dude is a power puncher. Ismael Barroso, fantastic fighter, 40 years old. It's good to see the old man get a win. It makes me feel really good. Second fight on this card, or the main event we're going to be talking about now, is Vergil Ortiz as he took on Fredrick Lawson. Another first-round fight, a little controversy in that. But this is his first fight at 154. Tim Tszyu, he called out after the fight. I really like that. That's actually a super fun fight. You got Vergil Ortiz and Tim Tszyu. They got the title now since Tszyu was elevated to full-time champion after the Canelo Charlo fight. So, that's a big fight, and Vergil Ortiz is one of those guys that's dangerous, but, like, when he was like 2 years ago, he was like, the up and coming guy, and the international welterweight champion in 2022 had some injuries and fight schedule, couldn't make it. And Tim Tszyu was nowhere to be seen. Now Tim Tszyu is a beast. So Vergil Ortiz versus Tim Tszyu is probably the fight to make here. I like that going forward, honestly. So Vergil Ortiz, he was very jab heavy. We'll get a little more technical on this one. I actually took notes on this. I was expecting Barroso to get blown out, but Ismael Barroso decided, I'm not getting blown out, bro. So yeah, Vergil Ortiz was jab heavy, and then he caught him. So Fredrick Lawson, he was in there to lose this whole fight. This is a return fight. He's back up at 154. He's kind of testing the weight. So Fredrick Lawson overcommitted on a cross or a right hook. So they were both orthodox fighters. But he overcommitted and missed Ortiz. And Vergil Ortiz responded with a super heavy jab that kind of snapped his head to the side. And he was hurt from there. And Fredrick Lawson was buckled. Then Vergil Ortiz pounces in the corner and just starts to pour it on. And when he smells blood, man, like, he is ready for the kill. So he goes, he pounces, and I really like the left hook to the body that he would throw to get the hands down. And then Tony Weeks steps in to stop the fight. And I'm like, yo, what just happened here? It was early. It really was. So Fredrick Lawson still could have fought. And I was like, man, that was a bad of a stoppage as you can possibly get. But Tony Weeks, I'm going to put the tweet up right here somewhere, or the Facebook post. He posted on his Facebook. It's since been deleted, I think. But this is what he said. What the public didn't know, that prior to the fight, they came and did a brain scan on him, and it came up that he had an aneurysm. And they did the test again, and the same aneurysm came up. Another doctor was brought in and gave him the same examination, and he tested negative for the aneurysm. So they cleared him to fight. I gave Tony Weeks some hell with that. But at the same time, it's his job to protect the fighter. And if he has knowledge like this, that, Fredrick Lawson might not supposed to be in there medically. I mean, he's not a doctor. He probably shouldn't be making medical decisions. But he could have saved this guy's life. I'd hate to see a high-level death in boxing. That's what sets the sport back. Fredrick Lawson needs to make sure he's healthy. He shouldn't be fighting when a doctor tells you have an aneurysm. You should be like, oh, man, all this money. Bro, if you die in there, the money's not worth your life. So, big props to Tony Weeks. He's been in there with some of the, let me see, I pulled it up earlier. He's had some brutal fights. So, like, who was it? Badu Jack is what it was. Badu Jack had this giant cut, and it was kind of, he was bloodied up. That was one of the worst things I've seen. And there was another fight he was in where the fighter went into a coma. And a lot of people were talking about Tony Weeks should hang it up. Tony Weeks did a damn good job. He did a real good job protecting his fighters in there. Because these are his fighters. Once they're in there, he has the sole responsibility for their lives. And Tony Weeks did that. So yeah, good performance by Vergil Ortiz. I was, very, very impressed with his composure back at 154, or up at 154 back after 2 years. Him and Tim Tszyu. Tim said he's down to fight, to be an honor. The two guys seem like they're cordial and they want to fight each other. So that's it's a fun fight. Let's do it. Charlo's not fighting Tszyu anytime soon, apparently. Let's do it. That's going to be it for today, guys. Short episode, I know. I'm sorry. I just can't get too much out of 2 first-round knockouts. UFC's back this week. They will be having Magomed Ankalaev versus Johnny Walker 2. The rematch after Johnny Walker said he was in the desert in Saudi Arabia. And then we got Artur Beterbiev versus Callum Smith for you boxing guys out there that we'll be talking about too. Follow me on X, which is right here. Yeah, it's right there. And then on my newsletter right here. Drop a sub on the channel. It really helps me out. I'm kind of doing this for fun, but man, people are tuning in. So yeah, that's going to be it for the day, guys. I'll catch you all on the next side, on the flip side.